Yo, what's good, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Chop It Up. So Chop It Up is a show where we discuss lifestyle and issues that matter to our community. I'm your man. I'm your host, Uncle Freezie. You may know me from the Lawrence Tears YouTube channel and from Chop It Up. I'm the host of the Knicks Morning Drive and the Knicks at Night podcast, some Knicks talk. I'm joined by my man, my friend, Sin Mears.
Brother. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, that's
Yes,
my yeah,
sir.
that's
Yes,
my
sir.
bro right there. So we gonna chop it up this morning. We ain't gonna get too heavy. We're gonna chop it up some about some topics that we feel like is important to our community and take questions from those that are joining in the chat, the virtual chat. So virtual chat, we see y'all. So we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. And so if you have any questions, be sure to put those questions in the chat so that we can address those questions for y'all. Um, so Sinmiz, how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great, man. How my grandfather like to say, blessed and highly favored, man. Like I'm just
Blessed
highly favored, man. Highly
and
favored and just
highly
happy to
favored.
be here, man.
Yeah,
Good
man.
health, got a little health going, got a little, can't complain, man. Family good, my lady good, we good, everything is good, man.
Man, so let me start off by saying so for those watching in the virtual chat and watching live on Facebook and YouTube. So how Sid Mears and myself started having discussions. We used to talk about the Knicks, but that was like just the Knicks are what they are, right? But we started
Absolutely.
having lifestyle conversation. Like I
Hmm.
talked to him about me going vegan and how me be listen. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. Right? I can control my sugar cravings. Right?
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, the hardest habit to break, though.
Meat,
Yes.
meat,
Yes.
meat.
Now, you heard me, right? You heard me, right?
Absolutely,
I said I
absolutely.
stopped drinking
And
and smoking,
smoking. Uh-huh.
right? But dog, I feel like I let you down because I've been eating meat the last couple days. Not,
Um.
not, not letting you, not letting you down per se.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah.
but letting myself down some. But it's hard, bro. It's hard, man. It's man. Listen, it's not just it's not just the meat per se, right?
Uh huh.
It's the small things when you go vegan, you find that you start missing. Right,
Absolutely.
right. Like cheese. Like people take cheese for granted.
For granted, what they say, the devil is in the details. The
Yes,
devil is not in the big parts. He's not in the paragraphs. He's in the details.
right,
So my
right.
hardest part was the cheese.
Yes, yes.
I let go meat. I was like, all right, this is kind of
Easy,
easy. Well,
easy.
eggs and cheese, both of those
Eggs and
together.
cheese. Eggs and cheese. Yeah.
I almost had to argue myself. Well, eggs aren't really meat.
Right.
Yeah, they are. They're meat. It's
Yeah.
just baby meat. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
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 So the thing is with meat is the meat is not the hard. Okay. So say for instance, right?
Hmm.
Say for instance, you go out somewhere. Your meals. Say you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're like, hey, I'm straight. I'm at home. I'm prepping my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What get me is when I'm out away from the crib.
And you don't got
And
that snack handy, or you
yeah,
need something to
yeah,
grab real
yeah, yeah,
quick.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And so this chick saw me. This chick saw me. She was like, "Yo, Uncle Freezy, who legit walk around eating celery sticks, right?" And I'm like, God, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Hey, B, you got me because I don't
Yeah.
I don't even want to eat celery sticks. You know what I mean?
Nah, me either. Me either.
I
Not
don't
at
even.
all.
But the thing about it though is you know, I'm trying to do this healthy thing. Like I'm a big guy, so and I lost all this weight, but I plateaued.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
at a weight that I can't get past, no matter what I do. Right, no matter
Hmm.
what I do, like I exercise more, stay at the same weight. Eat
Hmm.
better, stay at the same weight. Get proper rest, stay at the same weight. Do all three in combination, which takes a lot of discipline.
A lot.
A lot of discipline. Man. It takes a lot of discipline. you know, and my weight stayed the same, so it's frustrating,
Yeah.
right? And then so you see all these people on TV like, hey, just drink smoothies
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
juice and do
Yeah.
all these weird things, and I'll do that and I'll lose water weight, right? I'll
But
lose
the
water weight,
still,
but I hadn't lost any fat,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, or any of that weight that I want to get rid of.
Um, what I've learned, uh, because I'm like in the opposite. Like I plateau at a weight, and I'm trying to get like a little bit above that, and I can never get above that. No matter how much I eat, no matter how much vegan food I eat, I'll
Right,
be stuck at the end of the night with just a big old belly, and it's gonna
right.
go away. So, you definitely got to break it down to once you hear echo on me. Huh?
No, that that
Okay.
was that was me. That was me.
Okay.
I'm monitoring YouTube and Facebook at the same time,
Oh,
and
okay.
I had the player on, so I closed it. We good.
All right, all right. So I learned that sometimes you gotta take the next step. Like you just cut the meat out, but the meat wasn't your problem with as far as the weight is concerned.
Right.
So maybe it's like the oils you use, and maybe it's not enough water intake. Maybe you taking in too much starch,
Or salt.
also sodium as well. So it's good to play on all that. Even sugar, you may be adding too much, eating too much sugar.
Right.
So it could be all of those combined.
Yeah, yeah. So I find myself, and so for the YouTube users, I mean, I'm sorry, for the Facebook users, if you're watching this live on Facebook, I'm gonna pull up Facebook real quick
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure that I don't miss questions in the Facebook chat. I'm gonna just do that. All right, that ain't quite what I wanted. Yeah, let me go there. All right, so we live on Facebook, and I see some of the content, some of the comments. Hey, Scipio, what's good?
Salute, salute, salute.
Hey, so Scipio and some of man Sip is in the chat. What's good, brother? Miss you, man. Um, so if y'all are watching in the Facebook chat, for some reason y'all comments are not coming over. So for some reason, and I think it's a tech issue. It's not a Facebook issue. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if party people on Facebook, if y'all want to click on over to YouTube, so we are on. I'm gonna get the link real quick and put it in. I'm gonna put the link in um the chat so that
Okay.
y'all can come on over.
But what you drinking this morning, Freeze? What's that? Some tea?
Coffee.
Coffee? Okay.
Coffee, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So y'all bear with me while I um get the YouTube.
Link going.
Yeah, let me just do that real quick. All right. So all right, so let me share this. Let me do. Just bear with me, party people, because this should have been um in the Facebook chat already, but I'm not for sure why it wasn't. But there it is, right?
What's up?
Right, and then that way y'all can click on that and come on over to YouTube. So sorry about that production issue, but you know how it is, man. We
Yes,
kind of
sir.
forgot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Don't worry. Don't worry.
yeah, man. So yeah, man. Um, what'd you eat for breakfast this morning?
This morning, what we had this morning? We had some. I made like when I do oatmeal, I like to put as many grains in it as possible. So, had
Right.
oatmeal with a little make some wheat tina, buckwheat in there.
Okay.
Uh, there's some of course you gotta do the prune puree for the sweetener, natural sweetener, and the fiber. You
Yeah, you
know,
ain't gonna get me with that, bro. You
you
ain't
know. I'm gonna
gonna.
get you there sooner or later.
Hey,
Don't
sooner or later.
worry. Sooner or later. Sooner or
Yeah,
later.
yeah, man.
Sooner or later. Then we did the sprouted toast. We
Okay.
got like a sprouted toast. We do the sprouted toast, and then my girl she
So,
does.
so what's
Mhm.
sprouted toast?
Sprouted toast is basically how can I say, like, they put a lot of grains in it. They put a lot of like nuts, little mini nuts in there, like pumpkin seeds. Also, it's sprouted seeds in there as well,
Okay.
which gives added protein, added fiber, more
Okay.
nutritional value to the bread. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because some people, my doctor keeps telling me that bread
Hmm.
is the devil.
Absolutely.
Like white bread, just regular bleached white bread, stripped down of all its nutrients, is just like eating sugar off a spoon.
Well, that's anything bleach. That one of the first things I learned before I learned anything was like, yo, anything bleached is like be very wary of. Be
Right.
very wary of, because we need nutrients and everything. Like,
Right.
you don't want to just eat just to be eating. You know, you want it to be replenishing you.
Right. Right. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
So
So,
definitely, we had that, and then my girl she does reviews on some vegan foods. So
right.
we had reviewed some what is that? Some type of plant based sausage and plant based egg.
Yeah. So I do that, by the way.
Okay.
The plant based egg,
Yeah.
the plant based sausage.
Yeah.
Some of it is made from um apple and I forget what it is, but it's like apple and some type of multigrain.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you taste it, it has the texture of sausage,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in a traditional sense. And then
Absolutely.
and then at the same time, it also tastes good.
Hmm.
Like you would legit, competes with regular pork sausage or
That
regular
that
whatever,
good
whatever.
old sage sausage that you
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
cut,
yeah.
boiling and cutting open and then pan frying.
Right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right. My only deal though is with being vegan, like being vegan, and I say being vegan, and I ate meat the past couple of days, but I'm trying. All
Nah,
right,
nah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
legit. Like I'm legit not saying it just to say it. I'm saying it because I'd like to do it. But
yeah.
it's like other things like that you try to change your lifestyle, but you go back to.
Absolutely.
But like when people say I'm gonna stop drinking, and then occasionally you see them drink a beer,
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
They're not alcohol. They're trying.
Yeah, no,
You- you-
absolutely, absolutely. I say I want to work out all the time, and I do like push-ups for 2 days and then stop for 2 months. So
Right, right,
you
right,
know, it happens all the time.
right, right.
Yeah,
And so it's one of them deals where like where I'm trying. But the thing about being vegan is, if you're not an experienced vegan,
yeah,
being a vegan can be expensive. But like if you legit don't know what products to buy and where
yeah,
to get them from
yeah.
and how to keep them replenished and handy, being a vegan can be expensive. You know what I mean? Because you legit like with me, like I told you the scenario where I get a little hungry or whatever. But
Yeah.
like I eat the oat like when I eat oatmeal, man,
Hmm.
oatmeal can be stuffed. And,
Hmm.
and like no matter what amount, like I'll do either I do the steel cut oats or the days I don't feel like it, I'll do the oatmeal in the packs.
The
Right?
instant. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so regardless which one I choose, I eat a little bit of oatmeal with like the raisins in it,
Yeah,
and I'll be stuffed. Like I eat
yeah.
8 ounces, like no, not 8 ounces. That might not be. Maybe like 12 ounces of oatmeal or whatever. And
Okay.
not precise. Man,
Yeah,
I ain't talking
about
about exactly.
roughly. Yeah,
Yeah.
roughly. Yeah.
And then I put raisins in it, man, and I put that thing on my stomach, and I'll be in the Dick's Morning Drive like,
Uh-huh.
you
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
They're like, yo, Uncle Freezie, how you gonna do a live stream when you sleep? I'm sorry, man. I ate some of that oatmeal got me so full, and it's so warm and hearty
Uh-huh.
after you done worked all night. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You put that on, you like,
That's an itis pill right there.
yes, yes,
Nah, I
but
definitely get it. Yeah.
but you got
That's why I
you gotta
always
have it.
yeah, that's why I always try to like when we do the oatmeal, I always try to do like a fruit right after something like but
Right.
oatmeal is a little hardy, hefty on you. It could be bonding as well. So I try to I always do like almond butter in my oatmeal. Like I don't know, I got a fascination with almond and peanut butters and stuff like that. So, but after that, I do it straight like an orange or something to give me like a little sugar jolt because I'm usually working in the morning.
Love oranges, man.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
oranges,
You got
but oranges are full of carbohydrates, though.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they simple carbs, they're not complex
Easy to
carbs.
break down. Yeah, very
Yep.
easy to break down. So I only eat like one type of orange. My favorite orange, carrot. Like yo, amazing. It's like a pink orange.
Really? Is it expensive?
Uh,
Is it hard to find?
nah. Depending, I said nah, not really. No.
Okay. Hey,
Probably
so
won't be as.
what kind of orange is it? Hey, can you type it in the chat?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and then that way we'll know what type it is, and when people
Ooh,
watch the replay or whatever, you know what I'm saying, they'll be able to
I
at least
can't type it in the chat. That's one thing I gotta learn, like how to type while I'm still in the
because
virtual.
you using a phone, right?
Yeah, because I'm gonna use it on phone, so I would have to come out of this app, and I don't want to lose it.
Now, what? How do you spell it?
So I'm gonna put it in a private chat, so you can put it in the regular chat. How about
Okay.
that?
All right.
All right, all righty, we good.
All right.
So yeah, that's like my favorite thing right now. Like do the oatmeal, then I do that, and probably a smoothie, and I'm good to go for the day. Cause I almost had a problem with especially when I first went vegan. Like I would eat like you said, it was so hard to find something in between the days, like in between meals. So I was
Right.
strictly like, all right, well, I guess I'm just not eating until I get home, like regardless to how hungry I was or whatever the
Right.
case may have been. So I got used to just eating one time a day or maybe twice a day, but like just eating a lot at those times. So then I was able to break it down to where it's like, all right, well, let me take me a few oranges. Let me take some pistachios or
Right.
some granola or something to hold me over till I get home to those meals, you know? And
I ain't gonna lie to you.
it only help with discipline. Anything that I can add to discipline to I'm doing. So whether it be food or in life, it's discipline. It's only added.
Yeah. So my thing is with the vegan lifestyle is this, and for those of y'all that are watching me, but like, how can you be a vegan if you eat meat? Hey, don't judge me, man. This thing is hard. It's
Oh
not easy,
yeah, yeah.
and I don't eat meat every day or wake up in the morning. Like I don't go meat shopping. Like for meat
Mm-hmm.
stuff. What happens is I just get that that overwhelming sensation to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that's my intent. My intent is to be healthy. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because my family has a history of being in the opposite direction, right? So my family, I have a family history on all sides. My father's side, you know, my mother's side, both of her
Mm-hmm.
parents, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? My
Mm-hmm.
father's side, you know what I'm saying, both of his parents. Everybody used to like when you walk in, all our girls is thick. You know what I'm saying? Our family they thick, man.
Uh-huh.
And the fellas, you know, they got them the older they get that pot belly. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
not picking on them, and what I'm saying is real. What I'm saying
No,
is real.
absolutely.
This is
Listen,
it's real talk.
that's the driving force behind my whole lifestyle change, pun intended. Like,
Mm.
I looked around, see, all right, my father got prostate cancer.
Right,
Okay. Not a big guy, not horrible eating habits. My mother is like the most strict eater I've ever seen. Like she eat great my whole life. Like
right,
and still high blood pressure or what have you. So it was like, yo, you know what? Well, I'm still young. I still can eat what I want if I wanted to.
right,
I'd rather choose to eat healthy now. So maybe when I get to that age and I'm about to start checking out, I can live how I want to live. I can eat what I want to eat. I
right,
could, still be able to move and have my
right,
wits about me. So
right.
that was definitely the change, the reason
Because
for
for
it.
one, because for a lot of my family and friends too, what they don't
Mm-hmm.
understand is they legit one injury away from having a life altered forever.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying about one injury away, I'm not talking about playing sports. I'm talking about regular stuff like you sleep wrong on your wrist, and all those years of eating wrong and not exercising, all that stuff will have you with a hurt wrist for a long time,
For a long time, exactly.
and it will impact your quality of life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or like you step wrong, like when you get in your 50s and 60s, like okay, when you get to be like my age, you step wrong, like coming off a curb or anything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now you got you got to you like, oh man, my knee hurting,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
and so we black, right? And I don't know if y'all noticed, but everybody watching, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm black, right? And so we legit have this fear of going to the doctor.
Absolutely.
Frederick, what's good? Good to see you, boss.
Salute, salute. And a black man at that. So even extra, even more scared.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
so we like so we go to the doctor. Going to the doctor for us is like all the things that we fear wrapped up into one. So for what first of all, I don't want to create any unnecessary bills, right?
Absolutely.
Right. But,
Absolutely.
but you feel like if you go to the doctor, it's optional. Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
I could work my way through this thing, man. I don't
Yeah.
want to accumulate $7,000 in bills when I already need that money to go towards something taking care of other people. Because a
Yep.
lot of us are providers, right?
Absolutely.
And so when you're talking about taking money out the pool to take care of myself, it's one,
Selfish.
yeah, it's one
Yeah.
of them deals. Like, nah,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? When I know my baby, my baby girl car insurance due or her
Mm-hmm.
cell phone
Mm-hmm.
due. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Or my wife, asked me for $300. You know what I'm saying for something that we planning later on in the year, and they're like, nah, I ain't got it because I got to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
want to, you don't want to be the person to say that.
Or take the time off work to go.
Or take the time off work to go to the doctor.
Or even just putting your fate in somebody else's hand as a man is like one of the scariest things that you could do. Like, all right, this doctor has the ability to tell me whatever he wants to tell me and change the
Right.
course of my life. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep. Yep.
So yeah.
Or to get those scary diagnoses. Like when like if you just cruising along, you feel like
Mm-hmm.
you good. You're like, yeah, I've been feeling all right, man, but I've got some extra sleep, man, so I feel better today. Nah, bro. If you're not feeling right, like if your car ain't running right, you
Yeah.
take you take it to the mechanic. But if you're not feeling right, you try to shake it off.
Yeah.
No, that ain't how it's supposed to work, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the things about us and the doctor and some other things, creating another bill, and then you be in that subordinate situation where this person knows more than you. You
About
go,
you. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you feel like
Yeah.
nobody knows you better than you do. But he got like this whole battery of tests. He can figure out what's wrong with you more so than you do.
Absolutely. And it's just the most scary, like you said, man, that's like one of the most scariest things, man. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, like as a man, like especially a black man, you a lot of knowledge that you and wisdom you come into is about owning ownership over yourself, ownership over self, and not being easily led in any direction or authority over yourself. Like so
Right.
that for someone to have authority over you in that aspect, that's not your parent, someone who cares for you is like wow, like this is the ultimate form of like trust in the universe. Like I just gotta go with it. Like all right, well, and still use your wits about you. Like, so, going to the doctor and like, all right, well, let me see what this guy's going to say. Like, I almost go to the doctor now and not expecting anything. You understand? If that makes sense, and not being scared or wary of anything
Right.
either. Like, cause I know I'm taking the best care of myself. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. And so taking care of yourself is not just about the food that you eat, but you have to be real careful with stuff like injuries. Like if you injure yourself, take care of
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
If you're not sleeping right, get some sleep, man.
Get some sleep,
I used to listen to this artist back in the day named Tupac, right? Everybody know who Tupac is,
of course.
right? And
Go.
and Tupac used to live his life at 1,000,000 miles per hour, right? And so I was just a little bit older than this dude, a little bit, just a couple years, a few years older than this dude when he was doing that. And I was like, yo, if he doing it, man, I'm a sleep when I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? And Cats used to talk,
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
it be in
yeah,
that big talk. Yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Whatever. Hustle till I die.
yeah,
All them
yeah.
talk,
All of that, all of
all that
that,
stuff. Yeah, all that talk. But
that young talk.
yeah, but what I find is that at that age, your body is able to withstand more. You know what I'm saying? You're able to do more stuff
Yeah,
at that age
it
that
recovers faster.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, yeah, nah, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, man.
But what I found out when you get older, like when you get in your 50s, you know what I'm saying? When you tell another 50-year-old, I'll sleep when I'm dead, they like, well, keep on, you're gonna be dead soon.
Yeah, don't
You know
worry,
what I'm saying?
don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep on talking and see what happens.
Yeah,
So like the old timers, like to tell us the old, and once you get to a certain age, like when I was in my teens, I used to think 30 was old, right? It's like 30. Hey man,
uh
30 years old, he about to kick the bucket. You know what
huh,
I'm saying? And
uh
then when I got 30, I was like, man, being 30 ain't so old. Right. And then I used to look at people in their 50s. I was like, yeah, man, he an old man. He about to retire.
yeah, yeah.
But then when you get there, you like, yo,
It ain't that old.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
When I got to the 30, I was saying the same thing, man. I was like, yo, I think I stopped actually eating meat while I was still in my 20s,
okay, okay,
about 28. So I got to my 30s, I was like, I remember never forget, like on the day of the 29th, my 29th birthday, like the last few hours, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see if I feel a difference when the clock hit 12. And
right,
I felt a difference when the clock hit 12. Like when you hit 30, it's totally different. But
right.
you still got your youth about you, we don't crack. So at
Yeah,
this age, I still, oh, you look 20, besides from losing my head,
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah,
another thing, which is
yeah,
wow. I'm like, yo, why we lose our hair?
yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
what's going on, man? So,
Yeah. So I mean, it's part of that thing, man. Part of them things about nature that we can't figure out.
mhm.
Some things you just gotta rock with it.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
like the things that's
Embrace
out of
it.
your control, yeah, the things out that's out of your control, just rock with it, man. It's just
Absolutely.
part of life. Like
Absolutely.
a wise man told me one time, right? Right. Wise man told me one time, he was like, "Yo, Father Time is undefeated," right? Because couldn't no lie, I was on third base in this softball game,
Mhm.
and I come from a family of athletes, and that's all we do, right? Just we play sports, talk about, so we live it.
Mhm.
And daughters and sons playing sports. You
Oh
know what I mean?
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like my daughter was so good, so young at sports. I was
Mhm.
like, I always wanted her to be a lady, right? I was like, yeah, you're gonna be a lady. And she would get out there in the dirt and go pick that. So like they be hitting them shots to her, and she's
Yeah.
like 8 years old, getting in front of the ball and picking that ball. Like what? And I used to be nervous. Like, oh my God, she getting in front of that ball and she'll scoop it up and throw that thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, look at her, like a little boy, like a little boy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You know, and my boys out there, they hit the ball down there. They moving out the way because
They getting out the way.
they sagging their pants.
They
They trying
walking
to be
here.
quiet. They like, man,
Yeah.
I might get these Jordans dirty. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, oh my
Uh-huh.
God. But anyway, we in this softball league, right? And I'm at third base, and this dude hits a shot down third base. And before I move, the ball is already in left field going down the line. And I turn around and look. I'm like, wow, that boy, he smoked that ball. Right? But nah, he didn't smoke it.
Nah.
I'm getting
You
older.
smoked.
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting older. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
I was in my 20s and 30s, I'd have sucked that thing up, man, threw my man out. But in your
Mhm.
40s though, you like, man, he smoked it. Nah, that. It ain't the same. No,
Nah, not at all, man.
nah, man. It's Father Time is undefeated. And the older you get, the more you realize that you're not gonna be able to do some of the stuff that you used to do.
Nah,
That's why
absolutely.
you gotta take care of your body. You gotta fine tune your body. Make sure you do things the right way.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So Yeah, so the diet thing, man, is kind of it's kind of odd to me in a way that we figure it out because it does take discipline, right? It does take discipline, man. It takes a lot of discipline. For me, I find I have to be disciplined with money in order.
Mm, mm.
Those vegan sausages I was telling you about,
Yeah,
the regular sausages are like
yeah.
$3,
Those are probably like $8, seven
eight
dollars. Yeah,
dollars, and
yeah.
you getting like $8 and you getting six of them. You know what I'm saying? So you spending more for a smaller amount.
For a small amount. Well, I would. Those are like for train. Those are like training wheels, right? So when we do eat them, like we're doing it to review them. Like we do reviews on them. But normally and naturally, I try to stay away from anything that's processed or highly processed.
Right.
You understand? So that falls along the lines of mock meats or like plant based meats. I try to keep it, especially with sodium level and high blood pressure and whatnot. I try to keep everything uh that grows from the ground, grows from the earth. Like I don't really try to do the mock meats or whatnot. But
Right.
when you're starting out, you kind of need that as a crutch. So I get it. Like I'm not judgmental of it at all. I
Right.
just one of the big things that I see is a detriment to us as a community is discipline. Like, and if we could implement that, self-implement that, like do that ourselves, be as hard on ourselves as we are with anything else, then I think it'll be very easy and rewarding at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
because then that spills over to every form of life, like every form in your lifestyle. If you're taking control of your diet, you're taking control of what you're thinking, you're taking control of what you're thinking, and even the energy that you put out into that to the universe. So
Right. Right. And no lie, man. It takes so you mentioned the community and people in general and discipline. I don't know if I don't know how discipline translates to our everyday life in a sense that discipline comes in at all types of all levels, right?
mm-hmm.
So 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 one form of discipline is this: knowing you got a girl and you step out in the world and you surrounded by, fine chicks all day long. That takes a
Yeah,
certain level of discipline.
true,
Not
yeah,
not 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 discipline in the sense that you don't, what I'm saying, try to holler and try to bang everything you see, but the discipline and what it takes to be model being a family man in front of others.
absolutely,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying?
absolutely,
So modeling being a family man in front of others to me sometimes gets tough because I still want people to I'm still a person,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely,
Still a person, still a man, right? But don't want to give off this image like I'm the type of person that when I'm away from Mocha that I'm a different person, right?
absolutely.
I'm the same person whether I'm with Mocha or not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, sometimes you get in this thing where you like, you kind of wonder like, do I appear to be the same man that I used to be? You know what I'm saying 10 years ago, right? So sometimes that thought crosses my mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. But of course, I think that crosses all our minds as men. Like, yo, you never want to lose yourself. You always want to be that that person at heart that you promised yourself you would be. Like, yo, when I grow up, I'm still gonna, you know, or when I grow up, I'm never gonna lose this. Or and like I said, that discipline is very key. Like once you implement it in one little place, then that's not something that's going to be a detriment to you anywhere. I feel
Right,
like, and I feel like we look at it as like, oh, all right, well, discipline means I can't do this or I can't do that, or it's the choice of not doing that or not wanting to do that, and the power in that choice.
right, right. So you're
Mm-hmm.
saying disciplined thinking, and not
Discipline, in,
not discipline in decision making, because there's a difference between the two. Like
okay,
discipline thinking never
mm-hmm.
gets you to the point of disciplined decision making, because if you're a disciplined thinker, certain options never come into your mind,
True
right?
indeed.
But if you're always open, then you have to be a disciplined decision maker, because now that you're open, you have to make decisions on certain things, right? Like certain things you like say for instance, if you're a disciplined thinker, right? Then you're like, hey, before I leave, I'm gonna make sure that I eat something before I go because I want to make sure I stay on this thing. But if you don't do that, right,
Then
and
you
say
have to
you
be a disciplined
decision
decision
maker,
maker and what
right,
am I gonna eat while I'm out.
right,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
I buy this bag of M&Ms? And people are
yeah,
like, well, ain't no animal in M&Ms. Yes, it is.
yeah, yeah.
Because that chemical red three or whatever it is.
Ooh, preach for
Yeah, so those chemicals that you see on that bag,
uh-huh.
that red three, that you
Yeah.
don't know, that's made the color itself is a unnatural color in nature, but people don't realize that
Mm-hmm.
because it's it feeds into you eating with your eyes. It's the reason why people eat a lot is because they eat with their eyes. Like the two things that get people is the stuff looks so good that you can't turn it down, or you have some emotional thing going on where you eat to make yourself feel better. Like people or some people are emotional eaters,
That
right?
too. And the aroma.
Yeah,
They
man.
eat through the smell, which is another chemical byproduct that's put into the food to get you to smell it. So you understand to reel you in.
Right, right. No, it's the Venus flytrap. Like
Oh
if
yeah.
you
Oh
know what
yeah.
the Venus flytrap is the Venus flytrap. It puts out a perfume or an aroma that is so undeniable, like so insatiable that bugs fly to it. Even though they know
That's
some,
gonna
even some of the bugs know that it may be to their detriment. The aroma is so impactful to they go in anyway. They know like, man, I know this is dangerous, but this thing smells so good.
nah,
And,
absolutely.
and then they go in and they get stuck, and then the plant eats the animal instead of the animal eating the plant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things. Like, we eat with our eyes. Like certain colors and things make us feel like we have to have it. Like the red M&M, we have to have
Absolutely. And then
it.
they do tests on these things. They do tests on these smells and group surveys, group studies to what's going to be more appealing to you. So that's even why it's more important to be disciplined in these things. Like, uh, one of the things I like to say is a war. There's like, don't just get caught up on biological warfare or like physical warfare. There's a warfare on the food, on the water, on the
Yep.
air quality as well. So,
Yep, a lot of it's in a lot of different places, and so some think it's a conspiracy theory, and others think it's a money grab. Right? It's a money
mm-hmm,
grab. Like
mm-hmm.
legit people that are in that money grab, they don't care about others. They care about the money grab. They
Well,
care about the hustle.
it's capitalism.
Yeah,
That's capitalism is to capitalize. And to capitalize off of people's receptiveness to seeing things or smelling things and building on that. So that's exactly what it is. It's just capitalism at its finest.
right, right,
Mm-hmm.
right. And so it's one of them things, man. Like it's so ingrained in our cultures, and when I say about cultures, plural, is that we have a lot of cultures, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of culture. Like for instance, my parents come from the down south post slavery culture, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ain't gonna never admit that. My pops passed away a few years ago, but my
Oh,
mom
sorry for that.
they ain't gonna never admit to that that post slavery post Jim Crow
Mm-hmm.
type, what I'm saying, culture that they parents grew up in, right?
Absolutely.
And their parents did grow up in the post Jim Crow culture.
Absolutely.
That's not something that is made up. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's real. So what happens is they think a certain way, right? Like they think a certain way. Their way is be careful, save your money.
Yeah.
I'm saying don't jump out there and do something reckless because
Mm-hmm.
it might set you back for life,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And so I grew up in the hip hop culture
Mm-hmm.
where it's go for yours. It's the complete opposite of the post Jim Crow culture.
Don't save your money.
Yeah, don't say
Blow a bag.
right,
Yeah, yeah,
right, right.
yeah.
Because because in our culture, there are numerous ways to get money. When
Yeah.
you hear the term get money, it's numerous ways. You can get in the streets and hustle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can
Mm-hmm.
find a job just about, and people say jobs are hard to come by. Hey man, listen. Nah, jobs are not hard to come by. Like my mom's and my pops and them, jobs were hard to come by.
Come by for them. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were legit. If they could have worked at McDonald's back then, like when they was legit coming up, they'd
Yeah.
have, they'd have did that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they know, for one, it was a steady check, and two, McDonald's ain't going nowhere. Once
Yeah.
McDonald's built that building, you know they wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for us, we got plenty of options all over the place. It's about what we want. You know, say for instance, I'm not asking somebody to lower their self esteem or their standards.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that if you want to work, options are out there. If you want to do stuff, and then now too, you don't have to just go work for the man. You can work for yourself.
See, and that's what since this is definitely like a lifestyle channel and about us, a community as a whole and everything. Um, I feel so strongly about. Of course, I work for the man, so it's not really like I can stand on a soapbox about this, but I feel strongly in us working for ourselves and carving out something for ourselves and being disciplined. And that discipline is key in that because it ensures that now we can start leaving things for future generations that weren't left for us.
Right.
I come from my family as well, both sides, pure and pure through Southern Mobile, Alabama, or uh North Carolina, Baltimore, everything, so I definitely get it. And I see the elders and how they're great with money, but they're also tentative in a sense. Like they reserve, reclusive, and
Right.
maybe don't live life
Right.
as
They don't
full as they should.
because they don't trust the system.
Of course, of
Because
course,
they don't trust the system because they came up in a system that they couldn't trust.
of course,
And
of
so even though
course.
some systems have changed over the years, and
Yeah,
you still have things like racism, classism, sexism, ageism. You have all these different things out there. You still have them, but now you have the opportunity to circumvent it. Like I'll give you an example. So my pops worked at Ford Motor Company
hmm,
for 30 years, putting doors and hoods on trucks and cars, right? Legit taking a car door out of a box, lifting it up, and screwing it on the frame of a car, right?
wow.
That's physical work. You know what I'm saying? My man,
Hmm.
my man did physical work for 30 years of his life, and I think he only missed like his whole 30 years. He might have missed like 40 days from work in 30 years. And 40 days sound like a lot, but just imagine missing one day of work a year for 30 years.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
so sometimes he went years without missing a day from work.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then maybe got sick and missed a week. But his homeboys are like, man, I remember that time 7 years ago, you missed 3 days from work. You know what I'm saying? And so the dudes
Yeah.
back then talk like that.
Uh-huh.
You soft. I remember
Uh-huh.
I remember back in '75, you missed 4 days from work. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. And he
Like that's
fought them tooth and nail. You a lie. You a
yeah,
lie.
yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dude telling him that worked 40 years and only missed maybe 20 days of work.
Exactly,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? But I said that to say this, like he didn't have that many options available to him for him to support his family in the way that he wanted to. Right?
Yeah.
Old country boy from Fairfield, South Carolina, down in Dawkins, down in the hole. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Old country boy go to the city. And he lived in Baltimore a little bit, lived in Detroit a little bit, and
Okay, okay.
with my aunt was up there, whatever. And so he get his gig, you know what I'm saying, at Ford or whatever, and he stayed there and did that, right? But Uncle Freezy saw Pop Dukes working at Ford, like, nah, I ain't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something
Mm-hmm.
else. I came up in an era where you started seeing black pride on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like you started seeing black people in prominent positions and stuff, and you like, I don't know if I want to do I don't know if I want to work at Ford for 30 years like my pops did.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might I might want to be a lawyer or a doctor, or I might want to work on Wall Street or something. You know what I'm saying? Those
Mm-hmm.
options were presented to me, right?
Yeah.
And then now my kids are like, man, I ain't want to do customer service like pops did. I ain't want to be, on the phone or selling this, going to people's houses selling insurance. So I used to sell insurance. Like I used to be like the closer. Like people will be like, yo, this lady will not buy insurance from nobody. We've been trying for like 6 years. We're gonna send Uncle Freezie over there.
Uh,
And so I go over there and and so my personality is one that um when I meet people,
yeah.
I trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And in turn, and then in the weird twist of fate, they trust me.
They trust you. Yeah,
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 because
yeah,
I ain't got
yeah,
nothing to hide. I ain't
yeah.
trying. And so, like, say for instance, I come over and send me his crib, and y'all don't know me. I'm like, hey man, what y'all got to drink? Y'all got some Kool Aid or something? And I'll be
Mm-hmm.
over there in my shirt and tie. They like, he didn't. How the insurance man asking for Kool Aid?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
nah, we got no Kool Aid, but we got such and such. I'm like, man, I'm thirsty. They had me out here walking, y'all.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
You
I'm
know
like,
how to relate and then
yeah,
break it
yeah,
down. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you build like the rapport and the relationship with people because of being the insurance agent, you got to make sure you be there for
Yeah,
them because
absolutely.
I don't just want your money. I want to be here for like when y'all have y'all grandbabies. I want to make sure I be here. When
Yeah,
something happened, I'm gonna make sure I be here, and y'all can call me at any time, and I'll answer. I'll be here for y'all questions and stuff.
absolutely.
And so people be like, man, everybody say that. I'm like, okay, all right. So I call them at weird times. Like I call them Friday night, like 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
They be like, yo, who is this? And I'm like, this Uncle Freezie. I'm just calling to check on y'all. Y'all got y'all policy and stuff. Yeah, we got it Wednesday. Why you calling me Friday night? I told you I'm your agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what they'll do, they'll hang up, right? And then they'll call me Saturday morning, like 7 o'clock, and I'll answer. And I'll be
Mm-hmm.
sleeping. I'll be like, hey, hello. They be like, yo, I was just wanting this. I just had a question about such and such. And I'll be like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? Yeah, but I've been thinking about this thing. Can you come over? I'll be like, oh, man, my boys got a little league game at 8:30, but afterwards I'll shoot over. And they'll be like, no, don't worry about it. Just wait till Monday. Right. And then they be testing me to see if I'm
Yeah,
gonna
to
come
see
over
if
on
you
a
actually
Saturday.
gonna come. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how but my kids didn't want to do that. My kids had high in the sky aspirations.
Absolutely.
Like I was like, yo, so what career choice you want? A career choice. I just want to be rich. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got no aspiration. I don't know what I'm gonna be, but whatever it is I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be rich.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I was at them like, but this is the evolution though. This is
Absolutely. My only fear that is that this evolution as far as us is not conducive, like being rich. Yeah, we all want a form of financial freedom as far and just freedom in a sense to just live your life, love, freedom, and happiness. So I feel like with the evolution of, all right, my father was a janitor, my father's father was a mechanic, I'm a chef, uh future business owner, hopefully. um I would want my kids universe, being that I have any, that I would want them to be better than me
right.
in a moral standard, be able to accomplish more as far as bringing the community further. Like I want them to be able to reach heights that Malcolm Martin had reached. Not so
Oh,
much as, yeah.
are they proud to be black?
Huh?
What about? Do you think people today, blacks today, are proud to be black? Like, are they proud of their race?
I don't think
Um.
we know what it is. Majority, or I don't want to say majority. I want to break it down to 50, probably 50%, because I ran into brothers who, and sisters who take their pride, a sense of pride to them, but I also think it's misguided. So I don't think so. No, I'm gonna have to say no. I don't think so.
Right. And the reason why I asked this
Mm-hmm.
is because a lot of us don't even know our heritage. We just know that we are black and don't know like where our family comes from.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
like say for instance, like with Hispanics,
Hmm.
a lot of them know like where their families come from, whether it's the DR, PR, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia, wherever.
Absolutely.
They know where their people,
Absolutely. But I
right?
could break it even down more to where even Caribbean, a lot of Caribbean people know where their family comes from, or town, uh,
Yes,
hospital, grandfather's father,
right.
everything. It's
Right.
that when you break it down to the American Negro, if I can say to be political correct or whatever,
Sure.
we don't have that. I
Right.
mean, all I can tell you is that listen, as far as I know, my family come back to this continent. We don't go back anywhere else.
Right.
As far as I could tell you, when them Indians, Native American Indians, was here in 1492, when they said they seen, I'm guessing that that's was my ancestors because nothing else insinuates anything else.
Right.
And I don't. So my pride comes in that. Like, all right, I know what it is to be what I am. I take pride in it. I also am, we don't have a native tongue. We don't like, I can't talk to you in the type of native language that only me and you understand.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Our culture is, and when you said cultures, that was funny. Like, all right, Hispanic, that's different cultures. They have their cultures, DR, PR,
And
Colombia. Hmm.
they separate, and they separate
Yeah, yeah,
cultures and
yeah,
languages and things.
yeah.
And, like you can't legit walk up to a Mexican and call him Dominican. No,
No, no,
because if you unless you want to fight,
no.
you know what I'm saying. Unless you want to fight,
Yeah.
and plus that's disrespectful too. I don't believe in being disrespectful to other people's culture and where they come from. I don't care if they black or white or Spanish or
True
Asian.
indeed. True
You know
indeed.
what I'm saying?
Respect is a currency amongst should be the only currency amongst us.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because I feel like there's some people that fly under the like Asians. Like
Uh-huh.
if you legit like I know some Asians when you legit get into that Asian conversation,
Yeah.
they draw a parallel from the like with the Asians to like to people that are Jewish and people that are black. And I'm like, how in the world can Asians draw a parallel to Jews and to American blacks or Africans?
Hmm.
And then when they start talking that talk about concentration camps at World War II and
Yeah.
all kind
Yeah.
of stuff, and how they built the railroads, and then you're like, oh snap, I heard about this stuff, but I never really got the chance to chop it up with somebody who's
Yeah.
Asian who
Yeah.
can who can break it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with many Native Americans. So we have Native Americans in our family too,
Hmm.
but you never really hear them talk about like families being uprooted and all this stuff. But,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
I think we all have um I think regardless of race and culture and ancestral lineage, I think we all have like these rough spots in our culture that we all wish would have worked out differently. Um, but at the same time, it's up to me. I say it's up to the individual
Hmm.
to represent for their forefathers, because our forefathers ain't here to represent for themselves.
Actual fact. And you are your forefathers, which is
Right.
another thing. So even when you said the thing about like you can't call a Mexican Dominican, like you can't call a Jamaican Haitian, like
No, you can't
or
unless you want to fight.
otherwise, or they'll kill you.
Yes.
And you really can't call them Yo, I was watching this thing on Netflix, right? It was called The Trial For. It was about like a guy in Boston who had got wrongfully convicted, black guy in a predominantly white town. But long story short, it was somebody running for like the new prosecutor, the new prosecution seat. So and she was Bahamian, I believe,
Right.
Bahamian and Irish, and she was running
She
as
was
like,
a Bahamian and Irish.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
It's funny, right? So she was running as like, yo, I'm the first black prosecutor. I want to be the first black prosecutor. So she was trying to accumulate the black vote.
Right.
And I think in that town it was two different cultures there as far as like Bahamian and then different islands. There was a lot of island Caribbean, so they were they really didn't want to vote her in because everybody wants somebody from their specific island.
Somebody that's gonna represent them.
Absolutely. But long story short, she ended up winning it. So now she wins it, and now they're having like a party for her. Her father is there, her mother is there, Irish father and Bahamian mother.
Right.
So she's like, yeah, this is my father, my white Irish father. So
Right.
love him. He's like,
Right.
yeah. And he kisses his wife, his Bahamian black. So she's like, yeah, this is my black mother. Da, da, da. She's like, I'm Bahamian. Like, I'm not black.
Right.
And that right there was just like,
What?
damn, I'm black. Like, I'm black, but I guess I know I'm black, but to hear somebody like to say, well, I'm not black with the insinuation that there's something wrong with black or
Right.
with the connotation. And I get all of that. Like, I get it.
Right.
I get it all. So it was just like, wow, like these conversations, I think we definitely got to have, like, and definitely have to, like, get some type of healing from it or understanding behind it. Like, all right, cool. Everybody that
I don't get that though. I don't get that though. I mean, I understand that
mm-hmm,
the word black,
mm-hmm.
the word black is used in a negative connotation from other sides. Like,
Yeah.
it make it like oh boy, look who we got in the building, Sim is. Chop low building.
Mm.
What's good, Chop? Hey,
Salute.
we can't hear you.
He about to put it in his headphones right now. Salute, Chop. Salute, Frederick in the chat. Salute. Thank you. Appreciate you guys for coming through, man. Um, as you were saying, Freeze, like the negative connotation, I could get that from outside, like I guess just because of TV and just because of the optics of things or whatever, what so have you. But it hurts when I get that from when I've been brought up my whole life to think of anybody with this hue or in a variance of this hue to be black in my family to only be ousted or treated as an outsider just because I'm American black, and it's crazy. So
Right. Right. And
yeah,
so to me, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way to others.
yeah,
Right. That's not what I want to get at. What I want to
no,
get
no, no,
at is black and black is beautiful. Right.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We need to embrace that. Black is black and black is beautiful. But like when you hear certain names, like when you hear certain Morris names, you hear
Mm,
Morris names like Khalid or Jamal
mm-hmm,
or names like or Rashonda. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? Names like that. That's Morris. That's black. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Be proud of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to change, you know what I'm saying, your blackness to suit others or to fit in. Because what happens is you should use your personality to fit in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like you can be inclusive or included in certain stuff and maintain your level of pride in your race without being disrespectful to others, right?
absolutely.
And others should in fact embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are some there like there's a holiday like St. Patrick's Day, right? St. Patrick's Day is a holiday, man. Irish people, what I'm saying, represent, for that day. I don't hate on them for St. Patrick's Day. I embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like when
Of
we
course.
do like a Black History Month, I would expect people to embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Like embrace the fact that we trying to spread not just Black history, but world history across the world, like the impact of others aside from the mainstream history lessons that we get taught on a daily basis. Like there's a Cinco de Mayo day out there. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's
Hmm.
Cinco de Mayo, let's get drunk. Nah, man, Cinco de Mayo ain't just about getting wasted.
Nah,
Cinco de Mayo is the celebration of somebody's culture. You,
Yes.
absolutely,
you know
absolutely.
what I'm
They
saying?
have it in Queens Zoo as well, big in the park, right? If I'm
Yep.
not mistaken. Yep.
True indeed. True indeed. I think the problem. I think the information isn't accurately uh
disseminated.
Exactly.
It's not dispensed in a way that is fair to everybody involved. Because
So sorry to cut you off. So I get it. So when if it's a single de Mayo, everybody's getting drunk. It's like, hold on, why are you getting like? Yeah, we could all get drunk together and party, but I just need you to understand this fact of, oh, this was my Mexican independence, like, or
right,
this is what this is about.
right,
Like,
Mm.
yeah, we could celebrate Black History Month. Yeah, you can rock out to the new rap song if you want to, but I need you to also know that whatever it may be, who Marcus Garvey is, who El Haj Malik Shabazz is, who the father is, who these people are who built Harlem and who built America in a sense,
yeah,
whose homeland that this was before invasion or colonization, like just
Mhm.
things that we need to know to move forward in history, you know?
right, right.
So
They legit put their lives on the line so that the writers of history could be accurate,
mm-hmm,
right? And the
mm-hmm.
people that dispense history
Mhm.
can be accurate. What you want to do is like you mentioned people that they came right out of the Harlem Renaissance, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so it's a lot of people that came from say down south to move up to northern cities like Gary, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
New York, Jersey City,
Mhm.
New Jersey, New
Mhm.
Jersey. You know what I'm saying? That moved to these cities, St. Louis, Missouri, that came
Yep.
from down south, moved to these cities,
Baltimore,
right? And
Maryland, yep,
your
everywhere.
Baltimore, your
Mm-hmm.
Washington D.C.s. You
Yep.
know, they moved to these cities so that they can make a better living for their family, but also so that their familial record can be accurate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So that you'll know the struggles of the people that came before you, so you won't have the same trappings and pitfalls that they went through just at a later date.
absolutely,
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
it's to the point where so you mentioned the Muslim cat. I forgot what his name is.
El Haj,
Yeah,
El Haj. Oh, that's Malcolm X. That's just
that's Malcolm X. Yeah, I
that
know.
yeah, yeah. I know you know. I know you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
let's break it down for anybody
After
watching.
his name. Yeah,
For
right.
anybody watching, when the great brother passed, he was known as El Haj Malik Shabazz because he had left the Nation of Islam and he had started his own thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, that brother right there, that's the most influential brother in my one of the most influential brothers in my life. Like that book that
Crazy.
changed my life, man. I read that book while I was in prison, and I was just like,
I
with
read the book
this.
when I was in the military. I was in a desert.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a desert, and at night
Mm-hmm.
I would work all day, right? And then I hurry up and come back to my tent, and my tent would be full of sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll scoop, I'll take the tent and brush it up against the walls of the tent and
Yeah.
make it like a pillow. And I would read that book, man. I just read that book, just go through. And so what some of the white brothers didn't understand at the time I was reading the book,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "Man, you trying to be that militant man?" About it. Like, dog, listen. Before you judge it, try it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I don't say discouraging words about George Washington.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he was not a saint.
Yeah.
Certain, because you don't get to a place with that much power without having a tinge of corruptness to you. Like you don't get all that power without having a tinge of corruptness to you. And I'm not disparaging George
Mhm.
Washington because he was a Freemason and I'm a Freemason. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discourage that brother. What I'm saying is that before you knock what somebody else has done or the
Yeah.
experiences,
Yeah.
at,
Yeah.
at least research it first.
Yeah. Give it an ear. Give it
Yeah, don't go
yeah.
by word
Yeah.
of mouth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think that because I think that's one of the things. That's one of the things that hurt people. That hurts relationships. They take word of mouth as gospel, as
Yeah.
Mhm.
opposed to experiencing it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, to your point, like that book, it read to me like a hood novel and like a life story, and
Right,
like it was speaking to me at the same time. Like,
right,
hold on, so this brother was raised by damn near Garveyite. His mom,
right.
his mom went like insane.
Yep.
He started selling drugs, living the street life, like every. I don't want to say like every, that'd be very stereotypical, but followed the same path along almost I followed, ended up in prison, and then become the strongest man to almost the strongest man to ever walk this earth. Like,
Yep.
it's crazy. It's just like I read that book with a pen, and I don't think I didn't underline one line in that book. Like everything was just spoke to.
And he was a beautiful person too, by the way.
Amazing,
Right?
amazing.
Like some people in leadership, they said one thing and
And did
behind
another. Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
scenes, but like MLK, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He said one thing, and his message was crystal clear, right?
absolutely,
But behind
absolutely.
the scenes,
But
he
behind
was
closed doors, he was a totally different person in a
like a
sense.
womanizer
Yeah,
and
yeah,
some
yeah,
other, and so I'm not knocking that brother for being human, right? I'm not knocking him, and I think he added a lot of great contributions to society. But in
yeah.
terms of comparing him to Malcolm X, I think Malcolm X was a saint. Like once he made the change, once he made the full on change, like became
Yeah.
who he was, all the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that he was saying was sincere. Like he
Mm-hmm.
sincerely compared about it. He sincerely loved his people, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and not only did he, talk the talk, but he walked the walk also,
I
right?
think absolutely, absolutely. Like he was like the epitome of what you, like I said, like that's what I got. You hold yourself up to, as far as even if you did have an idol shoot, but he walked the walk, he talked the talk, he put himself on the line, his family on the line.
Yep.
He was definitely that epitome of it. But I think Martin teaches you that you can't really look at the messenger so much as far as the message.
Mm.
Like, because Martin also, he did a lot. Like he put himself in harm's way a lot as well. Like so much so that when after they assassinated him, they assassinated most of his family as well. His
Right.
mom, his brother. Uh so it's definitely eye opening.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
so um the thing with hey, Samir, listen.
What's
Remember
up?
I told you before we started how time would fly on here?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
see you. I
we
see you.
running up against time
I see
already,
you.
right? And we
I
just
see
now
you.
getting warm. You know what I'm saying?
I see
Hey,
you.
so,
Mm-hmm.
so but
Salute, Marquise. Sorry, sorry.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
oh no worries, no worries. No worries. Hey, Marquise Walker, what's good, bro? But what I was going what I wanted to ask is because you mentioned belief system and you also mentioned discipline, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So my family comes from a belief system of of you know put God first in everything you do, right? Put God first. Pray as often as you can,
Mm-hmm.
and remember who is the controller who sits high and looks low and doles out those blessings for the just and the unjust, right? But then there are other belief systems in place too. Like I heard some people say that they are God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so while I don't understand it, I don't what's the word I'm looking for? So I don't speak ill of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I
Mm-hmm.
want to do is get more information about it.
Understanding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing about it is none of us have all the answers, right?
Not at all.
None of us have all the answers. Oh, my dog trying to go outside. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
My dog,
Mhm.
so my dog has a crush on the dog next door.
Wow.
Every time she go outside, he feel like he got to go outside. He courting basically. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
All right, all right, all right. Peace,
Sin,
shot. What's
peace,
good? Peace,
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 Almighty,
Lord.
peace, seven. Hey,
Yes,
man,
Lord.
I appreciate you guys doing this. This is dope.
Of
This is very
course,
dope.
man.
Very
Listen,
educational.
this is what we here for, right? Poor righteous
Hmm.
teachers of the planet Earth, man. Got to.
You're ready. You're ready.
Got to. I'm just happy that free that we could connect and give what we supposed to give,
Hmm.
this knowledge, man, and understanding as we see it.
Hmm.
So I'm just happy to have a platform, be able to be here with y'all, man. Honestly,
Yeah, I love it
honestly,
too. I appreciate it too.
definitely, definitely, man. So Just gotta keep
And
it going, man.
yeah, and what he was saying too, like he doesn't understand it. It took a while as well for me, but you know, I ain't been I ain't do a lot of time, but I always been getting locked up, locked up, locked up.
Yeah,
But when I was younger, I had growing up, you had the guys doing this on the corner. You wanted to be down to do that. You had other dudes doing other things. You want to do that. I had some of the OGs, man. They used to be like, "Yo, man, listen, man. I had got the lessons. I still got my lessons. I'm so mad. I'm not home now to show you. I got everything in a binder. The
yeah,
the national anthem, the cover, everything. The 1 to
yeah.
14s, everything. Just everything is in a plastic binder, and I had to do the math. I had to do the knowledge, and sometimes some of the stuff still eludes me, and I thank God it's not back. And it's like, yo, what's the 1 to 14 going? I'm like, oh, I'm like,
Yeah,
damn. I'm
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
I get
yeah,
back to you. Like,
yeah,
nah, so it's just,
yeah.
but
Like you said, like I keep my book of life. My book of life is right next to me right now. I actually like I had to hand write that whole thing. So
oh, you had to
um
copy from somebody, and
no, I had to take it verbatim and then recite it back, and then I was able to write it down only after I was able to memorize it.
because one of the older guards, he printed out everything for me,
Yeah,
and like,
yeah,
yo, keep
yeah,
this. And
yeah,
what he did was he gave it to me in a binder, and in the binder is plastic, if you will. So all the
yeah.
papers is in the plastic, so it stays fresh.
Yeah, yeah. So that's dope. That's dope because I gotta rewrite mine actually because it's starting to fade. But
Mm. And
yeah.
when I was in seventh and eighth grade, and this is something at the same time where I started doing the math and doing the knowledge, I had a great, wonderful teacher. Rest in peace to Miss Applewhite.
Uh huh.
Big, tall, West Indian, Trinidadian lady.
Uh
Um,
huh.
I remember we had social studies books, all these other stuff. She like, yo, we threw all of it in the closet. She brought in
Wow.
African American literature and
Wow.
and wanted us to know everything about our forefathers and where we came from. And that
Wow.
kind of, I was very big on social studies. I wasn't big on math and all the other stuff, but
Right.
she inspired me to learn more.
About
I think
yourself. Hmm.
yeah, and who we are as a people, where we come from. And I think our class was the first class in junior high school where we left the state. She took us to Philadelphia. We stayed in the Dude Ranch, and she wanted us to see the first White House. And then the next grade after that, at eighth grade, we went to Washington D.C. But she was so adamant of us, you know what I mean, like learning and
Wow.
knowing
Wow.
about our forefathers, who we come from. So I learned about Maya Angelou, just everything else like that. It transpired from that one lady, and this what has me, what I'm saying, understanding and looking for more information. But go ahead,
Absolutely.
brothers. I'm so sorry.
Absolutely. No, no, definitely. Listen, man. Listen, this is the table, man. This is the table. So whatever inputs you got is definitely well versed and well needed. Like you, like that African American studies class that I had really turned on a fire inside of me. I didn't get mine till I think high school. I had a I had moved to Greensboro, North Carolina. I got kicked out of high school up here. I had to move to Greensboro, North Carolina. I had went to high school down there for a little while. And my teacher, he had us a young black dude with dreads. He used to like give us the realest curriculums ever. Like, and our last like project is that we had to like make a movie on any given topic that we had discussed in that African American classes. And I think we did like a Emmett Till story. Like we acted out the Emmett Till story. Like
Right.
whistled at the white woman. Then you know, what happens after that is untimely death. But it was just like, yo, that just opened my eyes to like, hold on. They killed this little boy for this?
Yeah.
Like, how old was he? Did he like what? Mutilated him? Why? So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
I
then I think years
mhm.
later, I think on her deathbed, she was like, no, it wasn't him.
Yeah. Said it
Yeah.
wasn't
Or
him
Mm,
she
after
said
that.
it didn't happen. She's like,
Yeah,
no,
oh,
he didn't do it.
yeah.
That
mm.
whole thing never happened.
And I don't even think it was on her deathbed. I think she's still alive, if I'm not or she probably died a few years after that, but she was still alive after that to what people were calling for criminal charges against her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So and so it go, but you know what though? I was talking to I was speaking with Hoodie Kev
Mm-hmm.
about um about sometimes, and you need an unfortunate situation to spark change. Sometimes you legit need an unfortunate situation, like you need a martyr to spark change, right? And so you hate to see somebody give their life for something, right? But if it's got to happen, at least don't let the moment fade away,
Don't
and
let it be for nothing.
let
Don't
it,
let it be
yes,
for nothing.
let it be a spark
Let it be a
Mm.
of something else.
exactly. Like just like for Malcolm and a few of these figures to die in vain. I just watched Judas and the Black Messiah, Fred
Right,
Hampton,
right,
like for these brothers to live and like live fully, but fully for us as a collective
right.
is like, I mean, I don't really I aim for a few things in life, but that's one of the only things that I could really see that if I didn't leave here without leaving some type of information, some type of knowledge, some type of wisdom, understanding, or even furtherance of our community, then I don't feel like I lived a full life.
Right. Or even, oh, you know what? Or even love.
Absolutely.
Right. Because,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, so and I'm gonna be absolutely 10 times 10 with you, right? I'm gonna be 10 times 10 with you. So there are a few of us like Sin Mears and myself that can speak in an eloquent way that motivates others to be more than they would have been if left to their own devices, right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's others who may have more passion than us that can't speak eloquent enough to motivate people with words. So they have to motivate others with a sense. And that sense you get from them is love is more powerful than any other thing on this planet. Right.
Absolutely.
So that's why they say stuff like, one love, and
Hmm.
respect.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Mm-hmm.
say certain things, and you get a sense that what they feeling is more powerful than the words that they actually said. You know what I'm saying? Like
Indeed.
Sin Mans is able to articulate exactly what it is that he's thinking in a way for people to understand and get a true feeling of where he's coming from. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Others can't do that.
Sure
You know
not.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what they do is they show love. You know what I'm saying? They
Absolutely.
they they,
And
they
in the way that they know how to.
right,
That's me.
Exactly.
That's me. That's
Exactly.
me.
True
right,
indeed. True
right.
indeed. True indeed.
And so what we should do is never underestimate or underrate what it is that people are trying to communicate to you, because it's multiple lines of communication. You don't have to just, communicate with the spoken word or the written word. What I'm saying, some people show love with actions. Like I remember the old timers, man, they in the 80s and 90s now, right? They in the, to me they old, they in the 80s and 90s now. And what they used to do is when I be cutting up in church or something, when I be cutting up,
Mm-hmm.
they'll pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, tighten up there, young fella."
Young
Mm-hmm.
fella.
And in my mind, I'm like, "Man, my people from the streets. Who you talking to?" You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm like 7, and these dudes
Mm-hmm.
is like 30. You know what I'm saying? And then
Uh-huh.
and then when I see them now, they'll put me to the side, and they'll, you know what I'm saying, shake your hand real hard, look, good job, young fella. And then,
That.
they'll slide me like $5, like put this in your tank for gas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't need, I got my own gas, man. But,
Yeah.
but you have to accept the fact that they showing you love. They
Absolutely.
communicating with you in their way.
In the way that they know how.
In
You
the
Yeah,
way they know
understand?
how.
because $5 ain't gonna change the game,
No,
Hmm.
no.
but the action that they did,
But that
the
action they gave, that action is now what that model that you have to look at from now when you're at that age and when you show that love or when you show that knowledge or pass that down.
right,
Hmm.
So definitely, definitely. But what you were saying before you left, Freeze, we about to get into. Oh yeah, you were saying about some of the things that you didn't understand, but you don't uh necessarily speak down on, but you just don't understand.
right, right.
I definitely want to get into that.
Yo,
And
so
he
you
was saying, it was
it's
about God, right? Why are
Yeah.
we God? Or the individual, why am I God? Why are you God? Right? That's what it was?
Right. And so let me do this real quick. Samir, we up against the clock. We got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we got a
You
few.
sure
We
you want
got
to
a
get
few.
into this? You sure you want to get
Okay,
into this?
so look, this could be like where we pick up on next week. We started a little bit, and then we give them something to hold on to, and
Okay.
then, but it's, or we can save it for next week. I'm fine with that because I want to get into your to. I know you can't divulge too much, but I definitely want to get into a little bit of Freemasonry and questions that I have as well. So I think that'd be dope. So
Yeah, because what it is with Freemasonry is this: people think it's like a secret society and things of that sort, but it's not a secret society. It's a society with some secrets, but for the most part, the stuff that we talk about is not a secret to the world. It's certain things. It's like when it's like your family. Like when
mhm.
you come in your house, it's certain things that you ain't gonna get. Like you ain't gonna give out your social security number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You ain't gonna give out your finances. That's
yeah,
your private stuff that you keep in your household, right?
yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, but the other stuff that we want to give away, people won't listen to it
Uh
because
huh.
it's not flashy, buzzwords. Like Freemasons say stuff like spread love, help others, you know what I'm saying? Stand in the gap for your brother.
Yeah,
And when your brother hurting, go help him shoulder the load. Right?
yeah,
That's what Freemasons say, right? But since it ain't flashy, people will be like, yo, but what about the sign on the back of the dollar?
yeah.
What that got to do with Freemasons?
See, and I always said this, right? I always build with, don't matter, you my brother. I just want to build. Like I don't even care what you religiously believe, or
Right, right.
you know, I do care about your morals as a man, though. Before I really could sit there and build too much, because it's just an energy transference that I just want to make sure that everything is right and exact.
Right.
But we're building with different brothers from different, whether it be Israelites, Moors, Masons, Muslims, Christians, whatever. We all
And
got
yeah,
something that we can learn from each other, right?
yeah, yeah.
And what I
And bring to that table. Yeah,
and
bring
bring
to
to
that
that
table.
table. And what I've also learned is that once we get into the core of what we all are in it for and what we receive from it, it's the same thing. You understand? And we have a lot of similarities. Maybe not the same. I don't want to say same, but a lot of similarities. So, like I said, once we start having these conversations and we just start building, and we definitely gonna find something amazing in here. Like we definitely gonna get to something of gold, of substance. So,
Right.
Each one teach one.
of
Yeah,
course.
man. And so what happens is, and this is my people's fault. It ain't nobody fault but their own. Right. This is a black community issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And some not just black, but some other communities too. I don't want to speak to that because I haven't experienced it firsthand,
True
but
indeed. True
but
indeed.
I'm sure they have the same issues. There is a wealth of knowledge and information that circulates this planet,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're too lazy to search out this stuff because it takes work, right? And so what happens is when people already have a full-time job, like you have like three, like you legit as a man have 3 or 4 jobs you got to do. Like you got to be a husband, you got to be the best husband you can be. Every day you wake up, that's your number one goal, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
You got to be a good father. You got to
Uh
work
huh.
you got to work your bill payer. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? You got to work your job to make sure that you do good enough on that job to make sure them checks keep coming in.
Absolutely.
You got to be a good person, and then ask somebody else to read books and look up information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much stuff for one person to do if they're not totally committed to it. But excuse me. But if you get in your books, like if you read your Bibles, your Holy Qurans, if you
Mhm.
read autobiographies by others that are telling their story and feel like it's important for you to read, if you get into
Yeah.
stuff like that, you'll learn a lot of stuff. You'll especially learn more about yourself
Right.
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
because self improvement is more important than community improvement. And I know people will say, no, 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 that ain't right. But listen, the more you build yourself up, and not in an ego way, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about in a strength way, in a
Mm.
a power way, the more you're able to take on, the more burden you are able to take on in the community and help your community, right?
Mm.
Absolutely.
You-
Absolutely.
right. You know what I'm saying? Because what you want to do is be a pillar of your community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, you want to build others up too, so that they can be pillars of the community also. But at the same time, you have to start with the man in the mirror and then
Mm-hmm.
work outwards. You
You
know what I'm
gotta
saying?
be the change that you want to see in the world.
Right,
Yes.
You
right.
Mm.
gotta
Because you
be
don't
that.
want to just complain about it. You don't want to just complain
No,
about it
no,
and not do
no,
nothing about
no, no. And as you like to your point, like we got a lot of the information. This is why it's more important that we had these conversations. Don't matter your lifestyle, your background, or what so have you,
it. Right,
because I don't have the time so much say to do all of this research. What I do know, I know a little. I know a little bit about a lot, not a lot about So
Mm-hmm.
we all put that together, leg, arm, supreme head. Then we all come
Mm-hmm.
right,
together as one. You
right,
Mm-hmm.
understand? So
right.
definitely.
So let me ask you this:
Uh-huh.
is that a message that's pushed forward through the nation of gods and earths, or is that like something you learned on your own and then you try to help others with it?
Which part exactly? I'm sorry.
The
The
building up of yourself.
Yes. So the nation of gods of earth uh is more so gives you the keys of thought, the keys of self-improvement to
Mm-hmm.
be able to stand firm on your square and also stand firm in the pride of who you are at your birthright, the pride
Mm-hmm.
of who you are, who your people are and were and will be.
Right,
Uh the information to provoke a certain type of thought in you to be that your own research, your own scientist, your own mathematician, your own nutritionist. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it just gives you the building blocks to build off of. Like
right,
it teaches you how to fish. It doesn't give you the fish to go and eat, but it teaches you how to perform that task.
Mm-hmm.
right,
So
right,
yeah.
right. So how deep does this thing get? Like how deep is it? Because in I, like with Christianity, with Chris,
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like I'm a follower of Christ, right? So I
Okay.
believe in God and such. So I read this Bible backwards and forwards, and I read it. The older I get, the more understanding I get, the more I realize. Like the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know, right?
Absolutely.
And so it drives me to read more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So what about what about the nation of gods of earth? So what about that? Do you really how deep do you really get into that, or how deep does the average person get into um
Well, as far as me, I use that to take me everywhere in life. I think when I first started out, as far as just looking for knowledge and looking for a sense of where my tribe is and where my tribe is and what I need to be conducive to that and build on that, I went towards the paths of Christianity. Of course, we all grew up in Christianity. I would think so. Like our families all come from that background, especially Mobile, Alabama. Family stayed in churches. From New York, my family stayed in churches. But it was something that spoke to me that organized religion isn't the way for me. Like it is probably things in there that if I have the right tools here to dissect that, then cool. But if I go into that with an indoctrinated mind, I'm only going to be further indoctrinated.
right,
So I needed something to teach me the tools of to break to unlearn and relearn.
right,
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what uh the Nation of Gods and Earth taught me. That's what the Father brought. The Father didn't bring these lessons to indoctrinate, but to free the mind so that the collective can follow. You
right,
understand? So as it goes deep, it can go as deep as to the miles between the earth and the sun, how much useful land is on this planet, solar facts, actual facts,
Mm-hmm.
it to plus degrees to breaking down how much fluid is in the brain to so this is why when I call myself God or I acknowledge my brother as God,
Mm-hmm.
I acknowledge that God is everything, right? We acknowledge that God is everything that encompasses everything. So I acknowledge that everything in this universe resides in my body,
Right.
resides in your body as the original man, resides in Chop Low's body. I acknowledge that I take on the burden of mapping out my future from knowing
Right.
my past and mapping out my present. I acknowledge all shortcomings. I acknowledge that, all right, well, this bill coming and I'm late and it's about to get, all right, that's on me because I didn't pay that bill when I was supposed to when all of the above is caused by the Son of Man.
Right.
All of the above is caused by me. So it goes deep, like I said, and it helps me to, like you said, I think one time you said, like you talking allegory. It allows me to see things from every side. So I like to
Right.
play. I almost get in trouble for playing devil advocate too much. I call my
Right.
because I have to see the other side
Right.
before I can
And,
even move forward.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And so with your references and is this well I heard you speak in allegory and measured statements, right?
Uh-huh.
And all the frat brothers, like all the frats was looking at each other like, you hear that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all the frats was like, hey, you heard that brother say it? And so we acknowledge it in like thing, but we were like, doing the acknowledgement like,
Wow. I don't even know I said it. Like I didn't
yeah.
even like I didn't
No,
even uh-huh.
it's because like the D9 folks, right? They'll say stuff and they'll say stuff and it's stuff familiar to them. But then when they say something, they'll be not like nine. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
and so they'll say something and that's fraternal, and I'll be like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll say some allegory, which is or a lesson or a lesson that's basically using a parallel between something that you know and something that you don't know in order for to be a teaching tool and
Yeah.
it'll be allegory to you, but it'll slide up the tongue because it's something you used to doing. But
Mm-hmm.
others that are not used to it will see it as a gem. They'll be like, "Oh man, that was a little nugget right there. I got
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you dropping like the accidental nuggets, and people will be like picking it up as life lessons.
You
You
got
know
to
what I mean?
though. You got to
Mm-hmm.
because like
Mm-hmm.
well, you got to because it'd be things like yo and your little stories that you be hitting on
Yes.
during the morning drive
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
be going there, I'm like, I can't wait to the end because it's always something there. And then
right,
that's how I always learn. Like I forgot who I was having this conversation before, and oh yeah, the father said this. You gotta go to the people as the people.
right,
Like he never
Mm.
stopped you from smoking or drinking, but because you got to be able to go amongst the people and teach the people, and they have to be receptive to what you're saying
right,
at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. So when you breaking it down, or you break it down the allegory, or you break it down the story, or you break it down in however you break it down, when you feeding a baby, you can't feed a baby whole food. You got to break it down before you feed it to them.
right,
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost the same thing. So even when I may be around people that we don't necessarily see the same, think the same, or whatever, but for you to get me and me to get you, we have to have some common ground.
Mm.
So sometimes it's through story or through little life lessons that you learn at.
right.
Right, and the lessons of days gone by teach you what comes to pass. I could dig that.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. And,
Yep.
and it's and it's and it's first of all about sharing, but on a level that's relatable to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
that's what you do.
Absolutely.
But you know what? It's past our time. Our 90 minutes are up.
Our 90 minutes is up,
Up
man.
that
Time
fast.
fly when you
I'm
having too
telling
much
you.
fun. Come
That's why.
on, Unc.
That's why when you said that, I was like, "Yo, 90 minutes is fast, bro."
I know, Unc. I thought I had more time. I honestly did, but old Earth, old mom. So I gotta,
Yeah,
it hit sometime. But
yeah.
like I
So?
said, mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I wasn't.
So what I was gonna do is
Uh-huh.
say this. So to everybody listening, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel so that
Yes,
when we
yes,
do go
yes.
live, you won't miss out on an ounce of the conversation. So it's not just about this right here, but we're looking to include a whole lot of topics. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But like how to communicate with your moms and pops. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to, because at one point, at one point in a relationship, you're the child and your ears should be open. And then,
Absolutely.
but it also, if you live long enough, it's going to turn into a situation where they have to start closing their mouths and
And
open their
listening
ears.
to you.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, it's a transition, and you got to know when the transition is happening, and you got to make sure that you be respectful and relevant. You know,
Absolutely.
so it's a lot of stuff like that we want to get into. So subscribe to the channel, smash the like button.
Yes, sir.
Make
Smash
sure
the
you, yeah,
like,
yeah, smash
comment,
the like.
share, subscribe.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. So we're looking. So I'm looking to. This channel right here is actually my first love. Right. So
Yeah.
this is the one that I wanted to do first. But as time went on and our society changed through pandemics and social unrest and a whole bunch of stuff. Um, the priorities change. But this right here is my baby. So I'm gonna try to do this a little bit more. Hopefully, we can get Cindy's on some more. We understand that there may be scheduling conflicts, not with just us two,
Yeah.
or with
Yeah.
whoever listens, but with the audience too. So if you're watching this in the replay, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Show us some love. I want to kind of get this up to a point where we can share this with 1,000, 2,000 people, also, and get y'all feedback and have more people come on to the show, or whatever. So Choplo, thank you for coming through.
I
Right?
gotta
Always
support.
appreciate it.
God bless you, brothers. Yes.
Always appreciate it. I'm always here. Like I told you, man, I'm like Frank on the bench. Whenever you need me, I'm here.
You,
Um,
you
I
coming out running and gunning.
I appreciate it. I'm going 3 for 3. I appreciate it. Anytime you need me to jump on, I'm here. I'm always, I always carve out some time.
Hey, Chop, you
Um,
see how he came out and threw those numbers out just now? See how he came
Yes,
out?
I
Hey,
even though we on
so
break, I'm sorry. We on break. I know. I'm sorry.
right.
But
So,
you
definitely,
good.
man. Like I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate the platform. I appreciate to be able to just talk to people, be able to give some type of insight, be able to build with you two brothers, get the insight from you two.
yeah,
Um, like I said, man, my only thing is to be aware is to be alive. So
yeah.
let's just stay alive and stay aware.
Yeah, man.
Indeed.
So what
Indeed.
we'll try to do, we'll talk about it during the week to see if we can figure out another time that we can go live. Something maybe try to figure out a time slot where we can get more people to jump on, because
Okay.
I
Okay.
see people jumping on through Facebook and YouTube. Like
Uh-huh.
I think they trying to figure it out, like how they get in with us and how to communicate or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So we'll figure out a way to get them on. But this is just the first in the
First of
series of
many.
many. Yeah.
First
So
of many. First of
so
many,
so,
Hmm.
so we're trying to figure this out. Thank you for everybody for coming through.
Yes, yes.
Indeed. God
We
bless.
gonna get out of here so y'all can enjoy y'all weekend.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
and Miz, man. So I hit you up sometime this week, and maybe we can schedule some other time so we can get busy.
Anytime, anytime you got my
Check
number,
the
got my
private
man.
chat too, Sin. If you see that in the private, you saw that.
Okay, I got you, Chop. Actually, I'm on my way to Brooklyn too, so I got that pop-up today that I was telling you about earlier.
Oh, I bet.
So I'm gonna text you in a few from my
I
number.
bet.
All right.
I appreciate that.
All right,
Yes,
y'all.
sir. Yes, sir. Peace.